you know, it's the game gonna test you. It's ups and downs.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, you gotta be who you are at all times.
Jackson, Mississippi has experienced a spike in killings, with more than 150 murders last year, and about 4 in 10 remain unsolved.
What's going on, everybody? It's Jordan here checking in from Texas. So we're going to go ahead and kick this one off. Nice, fun, chill vibes for the night. So couple things to start off, bro. Like, I done known you this whole time, but like, what do you really do, fam? Like, what's your job, man? What's happening there?
Man, that's funny you asked, man. So basically, I am a IT recruiter. So I'm a senior professional recruiter with a startup company at the moment. And so basically, what I do is I help people get qualified jobs. So like IT professionals, and not necessarily just IT. We do a little bit of financial analyst work, as well as customer service, representative work, business associates, business development associates. We fill those positions as well. And so basically, I, go get the candidate based on the job description, and I make sure they have the experience on that, and then get the interview set up and get them hired. So
Right. Okay, so you the IT recruiter. Okay, but like, what do you really do though? Like, what do you really do? Break it down a little bit more for me.
I start out, basically, we have a morning meeting where myself and the account managers, we're all on the meeting, and that's where I get all my updates and understand more about, like, if there's any qualification calls later that day, or any updates on any positions. And a qualification call is basically a call where we get on with the client, which could be, for example, we get on with Wells Fargo and a hiring manager there, and we go over what needs he might have at the moment. So like any openings for, whether that be business analyst or network engineer or just IT support overall. We go over the position in detail with him. He gives us a job description. We set interview days, and then from that moment, I go and I find the people that he, described, and make sure that they're available to actually, do the job, and they have the qualified skills to succeed. And so typically, they give us, the financial side of things, and then, like I said, we go to the market and we find someone who's, able to make the pay work for their living arrangements. And so in the mornings, like I said, we have that 8 a.m. meeting where we go over all those details throughout the day. But after that meeting, I'm typically working on 1 or 2 positions. And so from that meeting's at 8, so probably from 9 until lunchtime around like 11:30 noon, 12, that is 11:30 to 12 CST, I would, basically post positions, find other ways to source candidates, talk to people on the phone, and go over more positions. So between 9 to 12, that's basically what I'm doing every day. And then after lunch, I'm typically doing the same thing, but there could be a little bit of difference in regards to like different meetings I might have set on my calendar as well. Every now and again, there are different, events and everything we need to attend. And so sometimes we have, career fairs or networking events. So, you got to attend those. Also, managing the database that we have internally, the Talent Hub database, where, we have all of these plethora of different candidates, and just making sure the data is accurate, updating the data entry aspect of it. And so managing that, making sure it's really organized. Like I said, attending different events. I already mentioned qualifying positions with the manager, where we create the job description and get that posted online. So overall, just the end-to-end life cycle of IT recruitment. So sourcing, screening, including interviews, and onboarding in its entirety. So like paperwork in regards to I-9, W-4, all the tax documents, and then direct deposit information. Making sure we get all that over to you. You complete that, and we get all that in a file for you. So that way, if we were audited, we're in government compliance. But yeah, I'm pretty much over the end-to-end IT recruitment lifecycle. Most recruiters actually don't do all of that, but yeah, in my company we do that because we're in the startup phase, and we haven't like delegated some responsibilities because we're still below 50 employees at the moment. So,
Right.
Bigger companies though, they have teams that actually do that work. Like they're over the entire onboarding process. So that's what they call HR procurement. That's kind of what they do: onboarding, making sure drug screens are passed, I-9s, are in compliance. Like sometimes people have expired driver's license and they don't even know it, and then they turn that in and it's not valid until it's not expired. So that's pretty much what I do, man. So typically with that one lunch in the middle, but outside of that, that's pretty much the gist of my day every day, like 9 to 12, 1 to 4:30. That's pretty much what I'm doing every day. It could be a combination of the same thing. It could be a combination of a few different things, or I could not have any meetings at all and just constantly be calling candidates or messaging candidates on LinkedIn all day. So, but overall, yeah, man, we use those type of tools: LinkedIn, Indeed, Monster, Career Builder, ZipRecruiter. And there are a few others, but outside of that, that's really about it. Like I said, we're constantly asking for referrals and trying to reach out to more people also to get more leads for our account managers so they can get more business for us. But as a whole, that's pretty much all we're doing.
No, I appreciate you elaborating more on that. It definitely helps kind of figure out what you do a little bit more behind the scenes, from just the overall job description. I actually have a couple of questions based off of, the info that you just gave, just to kind of help clarify, my college brain, it needs to clarify some of these things, man. So it appears to me that you are like a professional kind of middleman. Like you're the one that's making things happen between companies getting the correct employees that are needed, and also you're helping the people that you're recruiting. You're kind of grooming them for the job based on the client's needs, and you're making the process just that much smoother. So you're kind of like the lubricant to this whole operation, this whole machine that is a company. Is that correct? Is that sort of the role that you play?
In a way, I would say, I guess lubricant is kind of a close analogy. I don't know if I would use that exactly, but overall, I do interact with pretty much all the business though. Like I interact with the account manager as well as the hiring manager as well as the candidate.
Mm-hmm.
So
both sides.
Yeah, so I am a middleman in that regard, and I am the point of contact for the candidate, but the account manager is the point of contact for the client. And so, I am basically the middleman. Yeah, I would agree.
So that sort of position would require a very sort of organized, disciplined, sort of human being, or is that one of the main, what's the word that I'm looking for? Qualities. The main qualities that is needed in someone in your position.
You said, say it one more time. You said a discipline. What was that?
More organized, disciplined. Like it's a very check mark oriented schedule. Like you're saying, you got all these meetings that you have to be at from morning to morning. Y'all have like certain checkpoints, or y'all like rigid with the deadlines and stuff like that. For example, somebody that might struggle with deadlines and stuff it sounded like it might not be the best position for them.
Yeah, I would say, if you struggle with deadlines, yeah. But to be honest with you, I struggled with deadlines when I was in school as well. But at the same time, it's honestly where your passions lie and like what it is you're passionate about. Because for some people, that can just be making money. And like, I've made enough now at this point to not necessarily say that's my passion. But from what I've learned in my 28 years of life is that, you want good karma, you want to treat people the way you want to be treated. And so for me, doing that in my job, the karma for me doing that accurately in my job, I feel like is me living a great life. And so I feel like my life is a reflection of the work I do at work, because I try to be what I would want someone to be for me if I was looking for a job. So, I said that to say I'm passionate about it because I understand like the seriousness of needing, personalized living arrangements, because everybody can't have that. You know what I mean? Like, some people can't afford to do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it. So knowing that and understanding, like, this is serious, this is how some people feed their children, how they eat, it just makes me want to be as good as I can be for them, because why wouldn't I want a recruiter to be as good as they can be for me if I need money? You know what I mean? So I look at it from that angle for me personally. So that's why I'm so passionate, and I'm making sure I'm on these meetings, because I want to make sure if I can't get a good job, that at least somebody looks out for me because I looked out for them. You know what I mean? So the karma of, like, doing what's right and knowing what's right, like I said, that's what I try to do. And so I feel like you do need to be disciplined, but at the same time, it's all about where your passions lie. So if you're wanting to make good money, because that's where it comes from, attending these meetings, then it's not gonna be a problem at all. And then two, none of these are like school, so it's different. Like, it's not the same feel, like, it's school and deadlines. I honestly think college does a terrible job of, like, well, I wouldn't say college overall. I would say specific majors do a terrible job of preparing you actually what to expect actually in the real world, because I don't think it's anything like school at all to me. From mine now, it's nothing like school.
What was your major?
I had a communications degree and a minor in sports communication.
Okay. And you still feel like it didn't really get you the communications degree?
For sure. It definitely did not.
Okay.
It did not. I learned everything that I know about negotiation and like real communication skills the time span I've been out of school. Like, it's different reading it in a book versus actually living through it and actually having situational scenarios that you can compare to. So life is its own teacher, So like you'll learn what you need to learn, but at the same time, I definitely don't think for my skill set that college was really even that necessary, to be honest. Had it not been for the degree, I don't think I should have went, to be honest. The more I think about it now, I just wasted time. Like, if I could have been doing this the whole time I was at school, I would probably be a millionaire by now, no doubt.
Man, well, speaking of that money, I feel like it's an appropriate segue to go ahead and give it to me straight, man. How do you get paid in this whole process of getting these clients to their jobs and helping people out? And what does, like, entry level salary look like? Give us a window about that, please.
So I'll start from where I started, and I'll work up. So when I first started this, 2018, when I graduated school, communications degree, no actual real world enterprise level experience. I signed a salary of $30,000.
30K entry. Okay.
30K entry plus commission, meaning whatever I worked for was what I got.
Okay, 30K
on the commission side. But 30,000 a year, that's like $400 after taxes. It's like nothing per week though. So I mean, every 2 weeks is $800, but that's no money when rent, nowadays is $1,300 just to live in a safe area.
You said you was getting paid every 2 weeks? That's what you said?
It was every week.
Every week, okay, every week.
It was every week. Also, the company that I started with, they were one of the biggest in this industry in regards to like staffing. So that's one good thing. Like, I got lucky in the regard of the first company I worked for was like the big dog. Like, it really doesn't get much bigger than Apex Systems in regards to staffing. There's only one other company bigger than them, and it's Tech Systems. And so I started there, and they have a lot of different promotions that you can get based off of just metrics. So like, you don't have to do like any like actual leadership things. Like, you gotta perform and hit certain numbers performance wise in order to get a promotion. So you start out as a MT, which is a mentee trainer, and then you move up to a technical recruiter once you test out and you pass out of the test out, which is basically training. I'm training you how to be a recruiter, doing it the way they want you to. And so after you test out, you are a recruiter, like I said, $30,000 base salary plus commission. After you hit 4 bonuses, which is 1 year worth of bonuses, it's 4 quarters, so you bonus per quarter. You hit 4 bonuses, you get promoted to professional recruiter. At professional recruiter, your salary bumps up to $32,000 base, and then your commission percentage on the commission side, it increases like 1%. So like you make a little bit more money per person that you find a job. But so I did that. I got the professional recruiter promotion, and so I was at the professional recruiter level for probably about 2 years until the next promotion. Because to get promoted from professional recruiter to senior professional, you had to hit 8 bonuses. And so by the time I hit my 8th bonus, it was like 2 years and some months later. And then I didn't actually go to senior pro. I went to team lead. And so I went to team lead, and this is honestly really why I left. I went to team lead and I didn't hear anything about money. I worked the team lead opening for 4 months before they ever said anything at all. Like up until I was telling them I was leaving, that was when they wanted to talk about money. But before then, I didn't hear anything about money at all. And so that's when I was like, yeah, I'm out. Like, don't try to put the money on the table now. Like, I'm gone. But yeah, so that was basically where I was. But before I left there, I had broken 6 figures total income. Okay. So that's how hard I grinded. There, I had broken 6 figures total income.
Oh yeah.
But that was before taxes, not after.
Yeah.
So I did that. I left, joined the company I'm with now. I've been here the past 2 years, and they offered me a nice lump sum. I actually had a $50K salary increase. So, I mean, 135, 150, easy.
Yeah.
So, at a senior pro level, you should be able to get that amount of money because you do a lot and you know a lot of people and you've been doing this for a while, so you should know the trends and what to do to get people hired.
And it took you how long to get from entry to senior pro? 5
years.
5 years?
I would say 5 years. So, and honestly, that's coming from somebody who had no idea about any tech at all. Like I had only thing I knew about IT was that I knew my phone did 2-step authentication, multi.
So let me get this straight. Let me run these real quick. Just from what you said, it took you 5 years to go from entry to senior level, where you make it 6 figures plus, and you have not used any of the info that took you 4 years to get from college in this new job, that you currently got.
I mean, I'm just over here saying I just feel like you can learn more on your own than going to college trying to party it up.
Sounds like you have fun in college algebra is what it sounds like to me.
Bro, I actually took college algebra in high school, bro. I was actually really
you
smart.
definitely didn't like it then. If they made
I was really smart at math, bro. I didn't like stats. I was good at math. I took that instead of trigonometry because they was asking me to do that. And I was like, well, they really wanted me to do trig or calculus because I had a A in honors algebra 2, but I was just like, I just like math overall and like making sure I knew how to count money. And really, that's really why I was
you like numbers.
Yeah.
You want the numbers.
I mean, really not anymore, to be honest, because I'm not good at the tips at the restaurant anymore like I used to be. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we just not getting that good money, so
yeah.
I'm just trying to calculate it up right. Make sure I'm being fair. I used to be a server. My wife did too. So it's like, we try to be fair, but you gonna get what you earn. I'm not giving you nothing because ain't nobody gave me nothing. So that ain't how it work out here. I'm sorry, but it ain't.
Gosh, bro. You dumb, bro. So look, you saying all this good stuff. You giving me all of the pros, but as we know, with the pros, there's got to be cons. So Give it to me straight, man. What do you like the least about your job?
Man, I would have to say what I like least about my job. I would say candidates not showing up to interviews after you've talked to them and they have everything they need for the interview and they know what's going on. Like they clearly have had dialogue, conversation about, oh, okay, yeah, I do this, and this. Oh, that's for Blue Cross Blue Shield. Oh, okay, like, yeah, I'm interested in that. Like, and then don't show up to the interview. Then when you call them, phone isn't ringing. Or if it is ringing, it goes to voicemail. Voicemail's full. Or you leave a voicemail twice and you don't hear back for 3 days. And they're like, oh, yeah, I dropped my phone in the toilet. I ain't had no way to email you. Nowadays, how do you not have a way to email me? Come on now, let's be real. You got a mama, a brother, a daddy, a cousin, an uncle, somebody, somewhere.
A neighbor.
You can go to the hotel lobby.
A library.
You could go to a hotel lobby and send a quick email.
Yeah, man. Come
on, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Effort,
like, it ain't no excuse at that point. But I mean, I just don't get why they do that. What you dodging me for? Like,
dodging you. Yeah.
I'm trying to help you.
Dodging you. Yeah.
Makes no sense.
That would definitely annoy me. And then there's your name on the line too, because you done vouch for this candidate.
Yeah, I sent all the information over to the client already.
Yeah, bro. I can understand how that would irk you.
Yeah, that's frustrating. Number 2, I would say hiring managers not knowing who they want to hire. Like explaining a person or the ideal candidate, and then when you find that person, them switching up last minute, being like, oh well, I would still love to see a few more people. I don't know if this is the person I want, but they have everything that the manager originally said they wanted in a candidate. That's definitely number 2, for sure. I mean, that doesn't happen often with my company, but in my last role, like when I was a team lead at Apex, that definitely happens a lot. Like managers would nig up at the last minute. You're just like, what, bro? We got on this call. You said this for 30 minutes. You was like, oh, I want somebody that used to work at Chick-fil-A. They got a bachelor's degree. That, can be groomed into such and such. And then I find the person, and then you're like, well, they want 20. I can only do 18. I don't think we want them. It's like, what? Come on, bro. Like, $2, bro? Really, bro?
Yeah.
Come on now.
I see what you're saying.
Come on now. That's the only thing you can think of that was wrong with them? Like,
and you done actually found somebody that fit all the other boxes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you got everything that they want. It's just,
like, there's not going to be the perfect candidate, man. Yeah.
And then cons, number 3. What would I say for number 3? Ooh, that's tough.
I guess that's good then. if you
you're right. I'm thinking about a few different things, but at the same time, they're not really that bad. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say.
I was gonna say, bro, I'm a positive minded person, and if you're struggling to think of negatives, I ain't gonna combat that. I ain't gonna make you dig deep and figure that out.
Really right, bro.
You know what I mean?
I feel like, honestly, bro, like, and I say this like not trying to even brag, but like just trying to like be real about the situation. Bro, I'm just blessed to work with some really cool individuals that actually care about doing stuff the right way, bro. That's really what it all boils down to, bro.
Would you say that's the most underrated part of your job? That the people you work with just make it that much better, or you got something else in there?
Well, I mean, I do work remote, so I never actually see them.
Oh,
so
you work remote?
Working from home is, you know what I'm saying? That was not.
You do all this from the crib.
But I'm the only recruiter that is fully remote. Everybody else is hybrid. So they have to
okay. Yeah. So it's not something to be expected off the top, right?
I mean, most recruiters are at least hybrid. I mean, at this point, it's not a whole lot of reason why you should be going to the office every single day. Like, you're calling. Like, why do you need to go in so somebody can listen to you call people? When you can document the phone calls themselves on the software and check in that way.
So,
it doesn't make a lot of sense to be.
That makes sense.
That's another reason why I said I love, the company I work for, because they allow for me to work remote and a lot of, flexibility in regards to like like you said earlier, making sure I'm disciplined and creating my schedule, because like, you know, the wrong person take advantage of the wrong day and people trying to get a hold of you and you're not available, like, it's not a good look, man. So
yeah, but I mean, at the same time, you got access to, you know what I'm saying, your family, you get to spend more time, you get to, like you said, orchestrate more of what you got to do in a day, but it's your own schedule at the same time.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you're your own boss. That's really why I love mine.
It's like you on the line between being your own boss and not. That's really really unique.
I still got people to report to, but at the same time, like, they give me the freedom because they know I'm gonna do what I say I'm gonna do. So
yeah. So okay, so since you got 5 years experience and you have a pretty good idea of what the market is looking like, what do you see, like, what are the most common mistakes that you see from job seekers whenever it comes to trying to get them put onto a new job? What something that can be avoided, easily avoided mistakes? Like, if I'm trying to apply, what would you tell me? Just no no's. How about that?
You said things that basically people do that are mistakes that like help them get ruled out.
Yeah, I threw a lot at you, but that's pretty much the gist of it.
I would say, for one, saying a lot on the interview, the filler words, that's a problem. Do your best to be precise, concise, answer what they ask, and that's it. Don't dabble and blabber and ramble and talk about all this other stuff. Resume definitely needs to be nice looking, and you need to have some type of link on there somewhere. Like, there needs to be a link on your resume.
A link to what?
Either LinkedIn or a portfolio you have,
okay,
or like, honestly, anything, bro. You could, even if you just decide you want to type an email out and hit spacebar and make it blue, like, bro, the more links the better, bro, because it just stands out and makes them actually look deeper. Like, oh, okay, what is this? Is this a link? Or is this a link, or is this just, you know, like, if you gotta ask the question, then at least they're looking, you know, versus not having to ask the question and glancing through and, this ain't fit. Like, get this out of here. You know, you want a reason for them to slow down and look at your resume. So, I would just say resumes that aren't documented the right way or just don't have the right information. You want to have like production, like, sentences. Like, you don't want to just say generic basic sentences on like what you're describing what you do. You want to say like action items or like producing type sentences, so like where you're actually doing things. Like, for example, facilitate the meeting and make sure no one has any questions after the meeting is over. Like, you don't want to put I sit in the meeting and run it and answer questions. Like, that ain't, you see what I'm saying? Like, you want to use good words to explain and show you know what you're talking about and you know what you're doing. So
most definitely.
And then one other thing I would say that rules people out as well, honestly, is being too open sometimes. You can't build trust on the first interview or the second interview. You build trust when you're working and showing your value. That's really another piece I feel like people mess up in. They get on an interview and they try to tell their whole life about, I want to one day live in a van and travel the world and work fully remote. Well, little did you know, that's going to cost you getting this job, because they don't want to ever go back fully remote. They might go back hybrid, but this is fully remote right now, and you just said you want to be fully remote one day and travel the world. So if this is for Regions Bank and US Bank hit you up in 3 weeks and say they got a fully remote role, who gonna interview for the fully remote role? You gonna interview. So let's go and get her out of here. We don't you need to waste time, because she just told us she ain't trying to. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But she got all the skills. Would kill the position. Would be amazing. You just ruined your opportunity because you was talking too much. You shouldn't have relayed all that, because you're still in the qualifying section. You're not in the
Not all the way in yet. Yeah.
So you gotta make sure you understand that too. Like that's big, bro. Because that actually just happened to me like 2 weeks ago, where a girl actually had the job in the bag. I was kind of annoyed because I was just like, how she didn't get it? And then he was like, well, in the interview she said she wanted to travel the world and go to Grand Canyon and go to New York in the van, and she wanted to be fully remote. So they were just like, yeah, knowing, you know, her desires and our desires don't align. So I was like, dang, that sucks, bro.
She played herself out of it, man. Talking too much.
Talking about she had the best portfolio, bro. She was a junior developer, bro. Wow. Nice GitHub account, bro. I was like, man, she's strong. And she was nice. It seemed like she was pretty cool, chill.
Just
a little too chill. A little too chill. You gave up that.
A little too much.
That cost you the job, so.
Yeah, that's some fantastic advice, bro. You got anything else to add to that while you in the flow of it?
Being knowledgeable about the company, but most candidates that are good, they're already doing that. Like I've had other candidates in the past who haven't got jobs because the manager gave them a chance to ask a question, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have any questions." And then at the beginning of the interview, they had never heard of the company. So like, how does that add up? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it doesn't, bro.
You never heard of the company and you lift them up, but then you still don't have any questions at all. Like,
yeah, man,
you gotta at least have one. Like,
I honestly have never really vibed with that aspect either. Like, you got these folks in here giving you all these questions and trying to, you know,
at least
potentially hire you on, but you ain't got nothing for them. Like, it's a two-way street, bro.
Preferably 3 to 5, but you gotta ask at least one. Like,
yeah, for sure. Well, hey, look, check this out, man. We really just went through the whole rundown. You know, told me what you do. You told me what you really do. And then you told me the entry-level salary. You provided enough information for somebody who had never heard of this to at least get their foot in and know what they're getting into. You know, you got your personal pros and cons, and even down to some advice for just some general job searching in general. And I really think that was some info that the community needed. And, you know, I look forward to hearing more and researching more about it as well, bro. More episodes to come.
Appreciate that. For sure. Well, we gonna slide out on y'all. But we appreciate y'all for hopping in and vibing out with the guy.
A wrap.